Hey guys, welcome back to another video on solo leveling rise. Black Thunder here. So you said to farm some aura. So here I am farming aura without any jiggles. Though his tattoo looks good. And I also want that tattoo, but they cost a lot. So hopefully in future. And now let me show you this. So this is aura plus 9999 because Thomas also got his ass whooped by HW. And to be honest, like, this is the best thing. Like, you can see that I'm switching menu and these are some great jiggles. But aside that, like, if you are in the Discord server, so you must know that the sauce on Lennart is out. I like to call it sauce because the word that starts from the L is like illegal word, especially in this gacha industry. So I don't want to my video to be taken down. That's why I'm just talking in indirect manner. So full sauce, like all the info that you need on the Lennart has been out. So if you want to know, so just join the Discord server and I'll DM it to you. The link will be in the description. And like I said earlier, that obviously Lennart will be more OP than Mirei and Cha. So it is really true because the power creep is real. So let's first talk about the power creep. So what power creep is that always the new units are better and more stronger. Like first when the game came out, so Cha was the best thing. Like she was the most OP unit in the game. And with the initial hunters like Beck or Wu and one support unit like Min or Melin, you could clear everything. I am talking about the time since Vulcan didn't came out, like the whole workshop wasn't there in the game. So then the workshop came out, and along with that, Alicia came out and she dethroned Cha. Alicia did so much damage with her core attacks that Cha was benched basically, and along with Sio as the water breaker and Melin, those three were unstoppable. And they really, like with the right amount of power, they really just destroyed the Vulcan. All the modes like easy, normal, and hard mode. And Melin has been the best buffer and also increases the attack of the Alicia, and these three have been the best. So till then the power creep wasn't so big like it is now, and Sio was the best breaker that we had, like we used to spam her skills. So now let's see the whole workshop. Like first came the Vulcan and he was only weak to water. Like see here, this is a joke, like all five elements. I wanna laugh on his face. And if we see the normal, so it's dual element, water and wind, though it used to be water, but when Baron came out, so it became double element. So then little bit power creep happened, not too big. And then came Mirei, so she dethroned the Alicia and Mirei was the best thing, like she would get billions of scores in power of destruction and guild boss, and she like cleared everything along with Hansemi and Wu. So these three were the best team then, and like everyone just went for her and a5'd her as soon as possible because she was really broken. 17-year-old, and her ultimate was so broken that it like destroyed everything in its path. And then came Baron. So here also didn't big of a power creep didn't happen because both wind and dark were able to clear it. Obviously dark units were much more stronger, and the wind team like only just struggled a little bit because of the MP draining attacks of Kaisel especially. And then along with like Harper and obviously Ayla, she was also a like great support at a5. And lastly the DPS Charlotte. So these three were like dealing tons of damage with their ultimates, like billions and billions, like one shotting Kaisel and every other boss. But still it was manageable without the dark units, like wind carried the Baron too, and even the proof of strong too. So then biggest power creep happened with the demos incoming. So we obviously knew like Thomas was shafted, though he was the best DPS and still is. But let me cover like Gogani first because that was also a power creep, because Beck was a mid breaker, like no one used to use him, and he was just good at the start, and then Gogani came and he still is the topmost breaker, like everyone uses him and he manages to clear everything that is weak to light. But the biggest power creep, even bigger than this, is with Thomas. Like Thomas released and he just destroyed POD and Guild Boss with his passives and even the simulation gates. Like you could just let him carry the whole simulation gate. And then finally the Kryptonite of Thomas released, and her name was Esil because with her defense penetration passives. And like Gina was also released. So Yusuyun really became broken with her defense penetration passives and the gimmick they put on the Arclay that you need defense penetration to bypass that stage. And the devs also like told in their stream they did this deliberately, like they had it planned that Yusuyun will become broken along with Gina because Gina was also collecting dust and she was like useless. But when these hunters came out and they synced together, so they became like too broken while Light was just struggling to even bypass the Arclay. And then even a bigger power creep happened to replace Mirei that Kanai came in terms of DPS, like they both were on 1920 or even 2020 level on equal footing, and just give her enough defense penetration so she will also like clear the whole Arclay easily. While with the light team, you need to give Thomas like 30% defense penetration and along with defense, and also might be Black Lion set to ignore the target's defense and whatnot. So this was the biggest power creep that happened in demos, and now let's talk the water team because that was the next with the launch of Yogurt Battle, and these are nice jiggles. But let's get back to the main topic as we were discussing. So Gogani was the best breaker or Harper, and they were like dethroned by Siorin because she like destroys the whole break gauge in just 3 skills, and they even reset, and her support skill also reset, so you can use her multiple times. So obviously first was the water and then comes the wind. So I obviously knew that wind will power creep this. The only power creep that didn't happen was in supports, like Melin is the best and it is a like she's a initial hunter along with Min, and you can use them in every SJW mode or even some hunter modes because they're universal, and Ayla is also great too. So now comes Cha, and she just dethroned like Light Cha and even Alicia because of one gimmick that they put in the Surin that she buffs HP and defense, not the attack. Otherwise, we could have used Alicia. And in just few days, like the banner ends and Lennart comes, so Mirei is ready to be dethroned and got benched just like Alicia because Lennart is too OP. And I just read the passive, so he will go well along with Goto and Hansemi, and then Mirei will be nowhere to be found. So this is how gachas work. If you are not a whale, so you can't have everything, and you will have a FOMO, like a feeling of FOMO, like power creep of Wu, and he was dethroned by Goto, though Wu was really trash picker, but still. So this is how gachas work, like I will tell you too. And now with the Goto balance adjustments in the breaker, so Goto, Hansemi and Lennart will be a broken team. Though there are not much gimmicks in the yogurt workshop like there was in demos, that's why the light team got shafted and there was a huge power creep between the light and fire. But still, as I see the water and the wind, so there is not much difference. So now let me tell you why power creep is important. Like this, in 1 year we got 2 monarchs. So in the next year we'll get two, then other two, and then other two. So Netmarble has to plan for 4 years, not just one anniversary. And they also have to reach out into the pockets of whales and heavy spenders to spend for more OP units. That's why, like I said, always that the new hunters will be more OP than the old ones. Only the exception was Akari, Trash Kari, because she was nerfed before release on purpose just to make the fire team more OP. So that was a little bit of shaft that we got. So these are small gimmicks that they put, like Sioran doesn't buff attack, so Alicia is useless. Similarly, Bedelia has like HP gain, so we can't use Mirei. And what my plan is to skip Lennart and summon for Gina because she will be dark. And for F2P, I will obviously go for the Lennart. I have A4 Hansemi, A5 Goto, and I'm only waiting on Lennart to release, so my F2P will have that. But in the main account, I'll skip him because I have to summon for Gina, and she will be obviously more power creep than the older dark units. Like she might be a more broken than Harper if she's a breaker. And let me show you my like shadow army, what I am currently saving. Like you can see, this is my shadow army currently fully maxed on the levels and the ranks. Only thing left are like skills and the weapons. And if I give you a hint that what is the new shadow, so here is a boss that is most annoying, so this will be the new shadow. If you still can't get the hint, just delete the game and just play Candy Crush. So one thing important is if you have the power and there are not much gimmicks in the workshop or the thing you are trying, so you can like clear it with the older units. because the main thing in this game is power, and the more power you have, the more chances you have to like clear all the content in the game. Here you can see I am saving the shadow energy too, and the echoes and the crystals. So if I'm lucky to be able to max the shadow on the first day, then I'll make his weapon too. So what I'm trying to say is that if you are a low spender or F2P, so no need to be like feel left out, because that's how gachas work. The new hunters will be more stronger than the old ones, most probably. The net marble really wants to just earn money because they're not focusing on just one anniversary. They are focusing on the other three that are yet to come before the game like servers shut down. So you need to be smart about your choices. Like I have, if I bought a team, so I'll skip that win team, and then maybe in the future, if I have the funds, I'll make a new dark team with more OP units. And also, if you are new to the channel, you know the drill. Do hit like, subscribe, and also that bell so you never miss out any of my new videos. So this sums up my video. Hope it helps you understand how the game works like better. And I'll see you next time. Till then, take care.